Matt stared at the flyer, a goofy smile spreading across his face. Beginner's ballroom dance, it read, no experience necessary. He pictured himself twirling gracefully, then chuckled. He had 2 left feet, for sure. But a little voice inside him whispered, why not? It sounded fun, a chance to try something totally new and maybe even meet some new people. He felt a tiny bit silly, a grown-up signing up for a beginner's class, but the excitement bubbling in his chest won out. He filled out the form, feeling a thrill of anticipation. Across town, Oliver was having a similar moment. He'd seen the same flyer pinned to a community board. His first thought was, me? Dance? No way. He was more of a quiet, book-loving kind of guy. But lately, he'd been wanting to step outside his comfort zone. His friend Maya had even dared him to try something unexpected. This dance class seemed like the perfect challenge. He imagined himself stumbling and looking utterly foolish, but the thought of moving to music, of learning something new, was strangely appealing. A blush crept up his neck at the idea, but a small, determined smile played on his lips. He signed up online, a mix of nervousness and eagerness swirling within him. Both Matt and Oliver, unbeknownst to each other, were about to embark on an adventure, ready to embrace the unknown. The first night of class arrived, buzzing with nervous energy. Matt walked in, trying to look confident, but his hands felt sweaty. He glanced around the brightly lit studio, filled with people of all ages, all looking a little unsure of themselves. Oliver slipped in quietly, finding a spot near the back, hoping to blend in. He felt a blush creeping up his cheeks as he saw a few people already stretching. A friendly teacher with bright red hair clapped her hands. "Welcome, dancers. I'm Miss Lily, and we're going to have so much fun," she chirped. "Let's start with some warm-ups to get our bodies ready." Miss Lily put on some upbeat music, and everyone started to follow her movements. Matt tried to touch his toes, wobbling a bit and almost losing his balance. He giggled to himself. He really did have 2 left feet. Oliver, usually quite graceful in everyday life, found himself feeling surprisingly stiff. He stretched his arms high, then bent to the side, feeling a slight strain. He looked around and saw other people swaying awkwardly, bumping into each other a little. A woman in front of him accidentally elbowed her partner while doing arm circles, and they both burst into laughter. It wasn't just him. Everyone looked a little clumsy and silly, and that made Oliver feel a little better. He even managed a small smile. After the clumsy warm-ups, Miss Lily clapped her hands again, her smile still wide. "All right, everyone, now for the fun part. Dancing is all about connection, so we'll be working in pairs." A murmur went through the room. Some people looked excited, while others, like Matt and Oliver, looked a little panicked. Matt felt his stomach do a flip. Partner dancing? He hadn't thought about that part. He suddenly felt even more awkward. "Don't worry," Miss Lily said, as if reading their minds. "I'll help you find a partner. We'll mix it up each week, so you get to dance with everyone." She started pointing to people, calling out names. "Sarah, you're with David. Mark, you're with Emily." The pairs began to form, people shifting and finding their spots. Matt watched as his classmates paired up. He was one of the last few standing. Then, Miss Lily's finger pointed in his direction. "Matt, you're with Oliver," she announced. Matt turned, a little surprised, and saw a quiet young man with kind eyes standing a few feet away. Oliver, who had been trying his best to look invisible, slowly turned towards Matt. He was taller than Matt had expected, with soft brown hair. Oliver's cheeks turned a faint pink, and he gave a shy, small wave. Matt offered a nervous smile back. This was it, his first dance partner, and he already felt a strange flutter in his chest. Matt and Oliver slowly walked towards each other, their eyes meeting, then darting away. "Hi," Matt said, his voice a little squeaky. "I'm Matt." "Oliver," he replied, his voice soft. He still looked a bit shy, but a small, friendly smile touched his lips. Miss Lily then showed them the basic dance hold. "One hand on a shoulder, one hand holding your partner's hand," she instructed cheerfully. Matt slowly reached out his right hand. Oliver, a little hesitantly, placed his left hand into Matt's. Their palms touched, and both boys felt a jolt, like a tiny electric spark. Oliver's hand was warm and a little bigger than Matt's. They both quickly looked down at their feet, a blush spreading across their faces. Now, the first step is just a simple rock step, Miss Lily demonstrated. Rock forward, rock back. Easy peasy. Matt and Oliver tried to follow along. Matt put his left hand on Oliver's shoulder, feeling the firm muscle beneath his fingers. Oliver placed his right hand lightly on Matt's shoulder. They stood awkwardly close. When they tried the rock step, they swayed clumsily. Matt almost bumped his nose on Oliver's chin. A nervous giggle escaped Matt, and then Oliver let out a soft laugh too. Their eyes met again, full of shared embarrassment and a hint of amusement. The silly feeling of holding hands and trying not to trip made them both feel a little lighter, and the studio filled with their quiet, happy giggles. As the music played a slow, gentle tune, Matt and Oliver tried the rock step again. Their joined hands felt warm and a little tingly. They stepped forward, then back, trying to keep in time with each other and the music. It was a bit like walking in slow motion, but with someone else's rhythm to follow. Matt focused hard on his feet, trying not to trip over his own shoes or Oliver's. Suddenly, as they shifted their weight, their hands tightened just a tiny bit. Oliver's fingers brushed against Matt's palm, a light, fleeting touch that sent a shiver up Matt's arm. At the very same moment, Matt looked up and Oliver's eyes, which were a warm hazel color, met his. For a second, the whole room seemed to fade away. It was just Matt and Oliver, their hands connected, their eyes locked. A deep blush spread across Matt's face, making his ears feel hot. Oliver's cheeks also turned a bright cherry red, and he quickly looked down at their feet again, a small, shy smile playing on his lips. Matt felt his heart thump a little faster in his chest. It was just a glance, just a touch, but it felt like something big had happened, something warm and sweet. The simple act of moving together was becoming much more interesting. After that blush-inducing moment, Matt and Oliver tried to focus even harder on the steps. Miss Lily walked around, gently correcting people, and soon they heard her encouraging voice near them. "That's it, Matt. Feel the rhythm. Oliver, great posture." With Miss Lily's tips, something clicked. They started to find a rhythm that worked for both of them. Their feet moved a little more smoothly. Their swaying became less clumsy. Matt realized that Oliver was actually quite good at keeping time, and Oliver discovered that Matt, despite his jokes about two left feet, was a quick learner. The nervous giggles slowly changed into soft, happy smiles. They no longer bumped into each other quite so often. Their hands, still joined, felt more natural now, a comfortable link between them. Matt found himself watching Oliver's feet, then his face, and seeing a happy concentration there. Oliver would occasionally glance at Matt, a small, proud smile spreading when they managed to step perfectly. A warmth spread through Matt's chest, a feeling of pure joy. It wasn't just about learning the steps anymore. It was about the easy flow of movement with Oliver, the silent communication as they shifted and turned. A happy feeling bloomed between them, making the simple dance class feel like the best idea they'd ever had. They were actually dancing, and it felt wonderful. They were doing well, stepping and swaying, feeling more confident with each passing minute. Matt was even starting to hum along with the music. Oliver was guiding him gently, his hand firm on Matt's back. They were in sync, a small, happy dance bubble forming around them. Then, just as Matt was about to turn, Oliver misjudged his step. His foot came down a little too hard, right on the edge of Matt's shoe. "Ow!" Matt yelped, not in pain, but in surprise. Oliver instantly pulled back, his eyes wide with apology. "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Matt. Are you okay?" He looked genuinely worried, his face turning pink again. Matt looked down at his foot, then up at Oliver's anxious face. He saw the sincere apology, and a burst of laughter escaped him. It wasn't a nervous giggle this time, but a full, joyful laugh. It's fine," Matt managed between chuckles. "My shoe is tougher than it looks." Oliver, seeing Matt wasn't really hurt and was laughing, let out a relieved laugh of his own. It was a deeper, warmer sound than Matt had heard from him before. They both stood there, shoulders shaking with shared mirth, their connected hands still warm. The small accident, instead of being awkward, had made them relax even more. The last bit of shyness seemed to melt away, replaced by an easy comfort. They were just two guys learning to dance and having a really good time. Their laughter faded into comfortable smiles as they continued to practice the basic steps. Matt felt lighter, happier than he had in a long time. Oliver, too, seemed more relaxed, his movements smoother and more confident. Then, Miss Lily clapped her hands again, gathering everyone's attention. "All right, dancers, you're doing wonderfully with the basics. Now, let's try something a little more exciting," she announced with a twinkle in her eye. "We're going to learn a basic box step. This one requires you to be a bit closer to your partner, so feel free to adjust your hold." Matt's heart did another little flutter. Closer? He glanced at Oliver, who was looking at Miss Lily with a mix of curiosity and a hint of nervousness. The box step, as Miss Lily demonstrated, involved a series of small, precise steps that formed a square on the floor. It meant less arm's length distance and more of a gentle embrace. Matt and Oliver slowly adjusted their hold. Oliver moved his hand a little lower on Matt's back, and Matt's arm rested more firmly on Oliver's shoulder. Their bodies were now closer, just a few inches apart. Matt could smell Oliver's clean, fresh scent and feel the warmth radiating from him. The closeness was unexpected, making Matt's cheeks feel warm all over again. He could see the faint blush on Oliver's face, too. This new step wasn't just about moving their feet. It was about moving as one, in a way that felt both exciting and a little scary. With their bodies now so close, Matt felt a new kind of energy crackle between them. He could feel the soft fabric of Oliver's shirt, the gentle rise and fall of his chest with each breath. It was a lot to take in. His heart, which had already been doing a little dance of its own, started to beat a little faster, a soft thump-thump against his ribs. Oliver, too, felt the change. He was usually careful about personal space, but being this close to Matt felt different. Not uncomfortable, but warm. He noticed the bright flush on Matt's cheeks, a color that matched his own. He could feel Matt's arm resting on his shoulder, a surprisingly strong and comforting weight. His own heart picked up its pace, a happy drum in his chest. They started the box step, their movements slow and careful at first. Matt focused on the tiny movements of Oliver's hand on his back, guiding him. Oliver watched Matt's feet, making sure their steps matched. As they moved, their eyes met again, this time holding for a little longer. Instead of quickly looking away, they both held the gaze, a shy, soft smile appearing on Matt's face, mirrored by Oliver's. There was no nervous giggling now, just a sweet, blushing acknowledgement of the closeness and the new, exciting feelings fluttering inside them both. The dance was becoming a silent, beautiful conversation. As they continued to practice the box step, the initial shyness began to fade, replaced by something much more enjoyable. Matt realized he wasn't just going through the motions. He was genuinely having fun. The way Oliver subtly led, the gentle pressure of his hand, made Matt feel light on his feet. He found himself anticipating Oliver's next move, and a thrill went through him when he matched it perfectly. Oliver, who had always thought of dancing as a somewhat intimidating activity, was surprised by how much he liked it. And not just dancing, but dancing with Matt. Matt's bright, open smile was infectious, and his easy laughter made Oliver feel less guarded. They moved in a comfortable rhythm now, a silent conversation between their bodies. They weren't just partners, they were a team. A wide, genuine smile spread across Matt's face. "This is actually really fun," he whispered, looking up at Oliver. Oliver's smile grew even wider. "Yeah," he agreed, his voice a soft murmur. "It is." Their eyes met again, and this time there was no quick blush of embarrassment, but a warm, happy glow. They had found something special in the simple act of dancing together. It was more than just steps. It was a connection, a shared joy that made the music sound sweeter and the movements feel effortless. They were both surprised and delighted by this unexpected, fun chemistry. Miss Lily called for a short water break, and the music quieted down. Matt and Oliver naturally drifted to the side of the room, still standing a little closer than most of the other pairs. "Wow, I can't believe how much fun that was," Matt said, taking a sip from his water bottle. I thought I'd be a total disaster. Oliver smiled, a genuine, easy smile this time. Me too. I almost didn't sign up. My friend Maya dared me to try something new. No way, Matt exclaimed. My friend Leo basically dared me too. He said I needed to get out more. They both laughed, realizing the funny coincidence. What else do you like to do? Matt asked, feeling brave. I read a lot, Oliver admitted, a slight blush returning. And I love old movies. Black and white ones, mostly. Matt's eyes lit up. No kidding? I'm a huge movie buff, especially classic comedies. And I love going to the old indie movie theater downtown. Have you ever been? Oliver's face brightened. I go there all the time. It's the best. They have the comfiest seats. They chatted easily, discovering more and more things they both enjoyed. Quiet coffee shops, hiking trails, even a shared love for a particular brand of ice cream. It was clear that their connection wasn't just on the dance floor. It felt like they had known each other longer than just one evening. The joy of finding someone who understood them so easily filled the air around them. When the music started up again and they returned to their dance hold, something had shifted. The air between them felt different, charged with a new kind of energy. Every time Matt caught Oliver's eye, a spark seemed to jump between them, making his stomach tingle. It was a wonderful, thrilling feeling like butterflies taking flight. Oliver felt it too. He found himself looking forward to meeting Matt's gaze, searching for that bright, happy glint in his eyes. A warm blush would rise to his cheeks each time, but it wasn't from embarrassment anymore. It was from a sweet, quiet excitement. This wasn't just about learning steps. It was about the person he was dancing with. The way Matt smiled, the way he laughed, the easy way they talked about old movies, it all made Oliver's heart feel lighter. They moved through the box step, their bodies closer, their hands warmer, and the smiles on their faces more open. Matt felt a surge of happiness whenever Oliver gently squeezed his hand to signal a turn. Oliver found himself humming along to the music, something he rarely did, feeling brave and light. Each glance, each touch, each shared smile seemed to build on the last, creating a lovely, surprising magic between them. It was a new and wonderful feeling, this spark of chemistry, and they both cherished every moment of it. Too soon, Miss Lily clapped her hands for the final time. Wonderful job, everyone. That's it for our first class. Remember to practice those steps, and I'll see you all next week. The music faded, and the couples slowly separated. Matt and Oliver gently let go of each other's hands, a small pang of reluctance going through Matt. He looked at Oliver, who looked equally happy and a little dreamy. The shy blushes had returned to their cheeks, but this time they were tinged with pure contentment. That was really good, Matt said, still feeling the rhythm in his feet. He felt light, like he could float all the way home. Oliver nodded, his hazel eyes sparkling. Yeah, it was. I actually had fun. I wasn't expecting that. He adjusted the strap of his bag, a soft smile on his face. He felt a wonderful lightness in his chest, a feeling he hadn't known he was missing until now. They both knew, without needing to say it, that this class had been more than just learning dance steps. It had been an unexpected, delightful surprise. The thought of coming back next week, of dancing with Oliver again, filled Matt with a joyful buzz. Oliver felt it too, a quiet eagerness for their next lesson, for more shared movements and blushing smiles. They were already looking forward to it. As everyone began to pack up, Matt found himself lingering near Oliver. So, Matt started, a hopeful tone in his voice. Do you, live nearby? Oliver's eyes, still sparkling from the dance, met Matt's. Yeah, actually just a few blocks over. I usually walk. Me too. Matt brightened. Would you want to walk together? He tried to sound casual, but his heart was doing a happy little jig. I'd like that, Oliver replied, a shy but genuine smile gracing his lips. They stepped out of the studio into the cool evening air, leaving the buzz of the class behind. The streetlights cast a soft glow as they began their walk. They talked about the class, laughing about their clumsy beginnings and how surprised they were by how much they enjoyed it. I really thought I'd hate it, Oliver confessed, kicking a small pebble down the sidewalk. But with you, it was actually easy. Matt's cheeks warmed to the compliment. Same here, You're a great leader, even if you do step on my feet sometimes, he teased, nudging Oliver playfully. Oliver laughed, a deep, warm sound that made Matt smile even wider. They talked about movies, books, and their favorite places to grab a snack. The conversation flowed effortlessly, like they had been friends for ages. As they walked, shoulder to shoulder, Matt felt a wonderful mix of happiness and excitement. This was more than just a new friend. This was the start of something truly special. The joy of their new friendship was clear, but beneath it, a soft, thrilling whisper of something more danced in the air between them.